Desse programa, desempenho ao vivo e bate-papo com o lendário e simpático líder da banda, Blixa Bargel.
Nur was nicht ist, ist möglich.
Massari como convidado ilustríssimo Blixa Bargel, Einsturzende Neubauten. How was it? Was it good? Sorry about the accent.
You mean your pronunciation of the name?
Yeah, it was good.
Yes,
Okay. Well, welcome to Brazil once again. What do you make of your first performance with the band here in Brazil then? How critical are you of your own performances? I mean, do you leave the stage and sort of end up discussing what went right or wrong or nothing like that?
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what we do. And we hadn't played for about 9 months, and I think for not playing 9 months, we played very good. I was quite happy with it. We only had the limited time of 2 hours. We sometimes play up to 3 or 3.5 hours, so we had to stop when we stopped. What we play now is very much what we played for the last year. We have worked out material that is about 3.5 hours long, and we can play much more than what we did play tonight, but there's only a limited time that we can do.
I mean, as you mentioned, you achieved something that not many bands achieve, is that critics, specialists, fans, they never can categorize, pinpoint what kind of music you make. It's a kind of an achievement in itself.
Can't pinpoint what we're going to do next.
Right. It's good that people sort of struggle to manage that. I mean, but something that was attached to the band was the industrial thing.
Yes.
Do you recognize sort of the legacy of what you sort of presented, especially when you hear these younger bands that sort of tend to say that they're playing industrial music, that they listen to your music? Are you able to recognize this in other sort of modern bands? Say 9 Inch Nails, people like that?
Well, we're signed to Trent Reznor's label. We're signed to Nothing Records, which is owned by Trent Reznor. So we're very, very thankful for the fact that he has actually signed us. But I have to admit that I really, sincerely don't know much about popular music. I gave up listening to popular music 10 years ago. I know popular music from the 80s and the 70s and the 60s and all that, but I don't know anything about things going on now. I heard about that there are things like drum and bass, but I wouldn't be able to identify it because I never heard it. Yeah. I know what techno sounds like, but I think techno is not about records, so I simply don't know much about it.
What's kind of ironic about this is that the whole thing is being portrayed as a new thing, and I mean, plenty of bands have been doing this for kind of a long time, sort of experimenting with sounds, all these kind of things.
Yes, but that's all not my problem.
Very early days, you were called by probably the media as Berlin sickness or something like that because of the
Frankheit. Yeah, I made that up. It's not the media. I made that up.
But what kind of, how different a Berlin are we talking about from the early 80s when you started, the turn of the 70s or the 80s, and nowadays? I mean, some social, political.
And I grew up, and the band was founded in West Berlin. West Berlin was one of the most unique and strangest places in the world. And it doesn't exist anymore. So it is very much different now.
I'm asking you this because, especially to younger generations nowadays, if you mention Berlin, social and political statements, noise, a label to sort of release other people's records, people are going to think of Atari Teenage Riot and the digital underground sort of thing. Any connections? How do you see this scene? Are you close to them in any way?
Well, we made a record of remixes where Alec Empire of Atari Teenage Riot has remixed one of our songs, and that was the worst remix on the whole record. I hated it.
Whenever you read something about the early days of the band, it becomes a sort of shocking thing of the very early shows, riots, all these kind of things. So what kind of riots, or what do you think that sort of created this sort of
crazy? We created it.
But I remember because when I talked to Nick Cave once, he said that at one point at the birthday party experience, he felt that the whole thing was going wrong when the audience was sort of demanding to be abused by the band. And he said that it defeated the purpose. It's pretty much a similar...
We never abused the audience. So. In all these very dangerous early concerts of the band, there were lots of accidents. But the only people ever got hurt were people in the band. Nobody in the audience ever got hurt in the Neubauten concerts. You know, we had metal plates flying from stage and fire and lots of dangerous things happening, but the only people that ever got hurt were the band. Well, you know, I remember when we first met Henry Rollins, who was always a great admirer of Einsturzende Neubauten, and we met him in Los Angeles, and we just came from Kansas City, and one of our drummers had a plaster leg and he couldn't walk anymore, and he had bandages on his hand all the time, and the other one had all these blisters from the fire and all that, and Henry was just sitting there. All the leaders,